Hi, Dennis Weiss, Eagle Communications. Welcome to our town. Familiar backdrop for you. Community Foundation of Dickinson County, Elizabeth Weiss. She's kind of my guest and kind of the host of the program both today, and so it's going to be fun for us, I assure you. So our town original concept was simply bring the good news of the communities that Eagle serves back to the people who live here. And wow, has there been a boatload of good things going on in the Dickinson County community.
Yes,
and
my goodness, yes.
Because you're my favorite guest in every way.
Thank you.
So I knew you could help me today, because that's what I want from you. But because you're the Community Foundation of Dickinson County, tell us about the good things going on at the Community Foundation first.
Oh my goodness, well, our fall grant cycle is open, so those nonprofits that are in the area, go online, www.communityfoundation.us, and click on apply for a grant, and let's see what happens. And
there's a number of people who have learned this year what that means that didn't know before, right?
Yes.
What the Community Foundation grant cycle does.
Yes.
So there's a lot of people out there, and I'm not going to force you to name them, but I would wish I could. But there's a lot of organizations that did that last year.
Yes.
And even in between the grant cycles and things said, we need help to do great things.
Yes.
And they rang your doorbell.
Yes, they did.
And the Community Foundation, you have 20-some board members?
This year we have 16. Normally
16?
we have 20, but because of how people are terming off the board, we're at 16 this year.
So I'm close to right.
You're close.
All right, that's good enough for a cowboy. But those 16 people and yourself and Kelly, they really represent generations of donors.
Generations of donors, and the diversity in Dickinson County of who they are and what they do and how they represent us.
So your tagline's for good forever.
That is correct.
We have things we're going to talk about today, of good things going on, but there's a lot of good things that have come from those generation of donors.
Yes.
You're the organization that compiles the funds, puts them in safe investment storage to build enough to be able to grant some off each year and to provide that help to these organizations. And there are things in Abilene where we're filming today that people can walk up and look at and see. But there's organizations that our viewers deal with every day that some of this money has went in.
That's right, and you know there's a phrase out there: if you've seen one community foundation, you've seen one community foundation, and all of us are different, but our base is the same, and that's to be the depository and the fiduciary space that people who want to leave legacy gifts, or as they're thinking about their community and their charitable giving. And we at the Community Foundation, that's why we exist. And it's sometimes, Dennis, it gets difficult to say what is the Community Foundation, because it's so much. And part of it is granting out from donor advised funds or field of interest funds or scholarship funds. But years ago, the Community Foundation of Dickinson County received 2 or 3 substantial grants from the Kansas Health Foundation.
Right.
And those are the monies that we use to our fall and spring grants, and that's how we're granting out those large sums of money, is because of the Kansas Health Foundation. So, but there's also donors that have funds here that grant out to different organizations, nonprofit organizations, and I'm going to tell you about one right now.
Good, I like it.
So, as you know, things are moving in Dickinson County, and things have changed. The scenery has changed the past few months in Abilene, and part of that, or all of it, quite frankly, was because of a grant from the Community Foundation that, in partnership with the Arts Council, we have those beautiful murals that are up, and people are coming to town.
You mean the
see.
ones that people are standing in front of from Kansas City, taking a picture of themselves?
Yes, and you know that came to fruition because of a collaboration with a few organizations. And you know, when Sam Geisinger came into my office and said, this is happening, as you know, how can we continue to move Abilene forward? And this is what transpired, was that art. But it was because Bob Bowe,
right,
who was here in Abilene, said, you know what, let's use funds from my fund at the Community Foundation. So it was partially funded through Bob Bowe and Inga Bowe's Charitable Giving Fund. Right. And then part of it was funded with Community Foundation money that we had set aside to grant out when the need arose. And it did, and it's made a difference in our community, and it's exciting to see that art downtown.
I think it's important for people to hear the same story in another way, and it is that the generations of wealth earned in the past is still working today for the future here in Abilene, and it just happens to be through the Community Foundation of Dickinson County.
Yes.
I think people need faith that these things work. Well, you can go walk out and see it.
Absolutely.
It works. And for the donor of today to affect something 50 years from now, you have a path.
Absolutely. You know, and those are that legacy giving that people have said, you know, Dickinson County has been or they've been blessed by being here in the community, and they want to generously give back to their community forever. And you know, that's just one small piece of the Community Foundation and what we do.
You keep whacking your arm
know,
every time you do.
I do.
So you pitched two words out that I'm going to smack.
Oh boy.
Oh yes. In that description, you said it helps Abilene keep moving forward. Wow, is that? There's my segue.
I lined that one.
So yes, you did. You threw it right over the center, and I hit it. So Abilene forward.
Yes.
So you said that phrase as describing something that's going on. So we hear that phrase around town. So what's Abilene forward?
We do. Abilene forward is a group of people willing to come together and work together for the betterment of our community. And as part of the Community Foundation's role in that, or a piece of that role, is I have been facilitating the meetings along with, I was gone last month for vacation, and Allison Blake, the president of the chamber, led the meeting.
One of the cooperating organizations.
Absolutely. It is truly a grassroots ad hoc movement that those of us who love Abilene, are invested in keeping Abilene healthy, have come together. We're holding monthly meetings where we're getting things done. One of the people that were involved, Robin Black and Nan Scholl, said, what about a 7 Saturdays working? So there's been a group of us just going around town cleaning and picking weeds. And so it's invigorating. The synergy that is happening in our community is amazing, and that's not all. Businesses are moving in. Painting has been going on. I think of Waddell and Reed, who was just moved back downtown. True Blessings, that has painted that building, and it looks amazing, and put up a new awning. We're getting an ice cream store from the Midwest Snow Cones, who's decided to again invest in our community. I think of Sabrina and James Holland, who working on that building, so the snow cone, the creamery could come in there. Rob and Don Hammett, that are working so hard on
the Peering building.
The Peering building.
Etherington Real Estate for the those that don't know the Peering.
So things are happening. People are moving. People are excited. I had a young gentleman come up to me in his early 20s and said, Elizabeth, I have lived in Abilene all my life. He said, and I have never felt the energy that I feel that's going on in Abilene. And that's a young man of 20-something. So that's exciting. And not only is it happening in Abilene, Dennis, it is happening all over Dickinson County.
Agreed.
Harrington is doing the same thing, has a group down there that are focusing on their community and how to make their community healthy and sustainable. So great things are happening, and the Community Foundation is thrilled that we get to be a part of that.
You walk up to your 16 board members probably in this room and go, hey, how about I go facilitate a meeting of the willing every Monday, twice a month or whatever, every Abilene Forward's meeting schedule, once a month. And then our first task is we're going to go out between 7 and 9 a.m. on 7 consecutive Saturday mornings and kill weeds with a hoe and put them in a bag. And that doesn't sound like Community Foundation of Dickinson County sort of thing.
Well, part of the mission statement of the Community Foundation is that we provide leadership for our community. And you know, sometimes I think it was Allison Blake who posted something on Abilene Forward the other day, and it was a group of people, and it was, you know, how many want this, and they all raised their hand, and how many want this, and they all raised their hand, and how many are willing to lead, and it's like then the room was empty. So, you know, it's you know, there's when I approached the board about this, and we talked about it, I think sometimes I leave my board members speechless when they just go, oh, she's doing a lot and moving rapidly, because that's how I.
There's another phrase for that. It's called off the reservation.
Yes, sorry, board members. But you know, we are poised to be that leader organization. And like I said, even, you know, Abilene Forward, there is really technically no leader. It is more of a facilitator.
It's an idea.
It's an idea.
It's not a group, really. It's an idea.
It's an idea. And, you know, we have had some dedicated people, and I think of the Chamber of Commerce, and I think of Smart Insurance with, you know, with Doug and Kyle and Economic Development. And we've all, you know, partnered together to say, we need to do this for our, you know, our community. And I think I was out of the room when they just voted that I had to facilitate the meetings, but things are going just well, and I look forward to see what's coming next.
So I laugh at this inside myself. So I show up at 7 o'clock with my little scraper that does wonderfully, but boy, is it hard on the skin on the palm of your hands, with my partner, whose name is?
Mike Kaiser.
Sorry about the name, Mike. I just depend on her for things like that. And we're out there killing weeds and breaking a sweat and bagging them up and taking them off. But you know, I turn around and look behind us, and for 2 weeks ago was working on 3rd and Cedar just before the parade. 3rd and Cedar looked pretty darn good for that parade with all those weeds gone. So, you know, I'm Eagle Communications, cowboy out in the country, but 3rd and Cedar is important to me. Because it's our town, and it's the presentation of our town is important. But I think what the 20-year-old said to you, the excitement and the energy, I get asked from time to time about different things, and one of the things that kind of has been on my radar is an entrepreneurial program. Can we do some things? And we've got some planning going on in the community around us. But I would like to say, the list you just gave, the ice cream store, that's an entrepreneurial program. Cedar Street that moved to C'est La Vie.
Yes, they have a new name.
Connie and Wilma, right?
Yes, new location.
That's an entrepreneurial program.
Absolutely.
What's the list?
Oh my goodness.
The baby boutique. we kept our phones here for this, so you get to look at the phone.
I mean, we just think of the things that have changed in the past year or so. You know, Hope Automotive or Hope Motor went to a new owner.
And is at Abilene Forward meeting every month.
Yes.
He and his wife and baby are there every month.
Absolutely. And you know, look at, like, again, True Blessings Studio, the new Co-work Abilene space.
Trey Green and his wife.
Huge.
All entrepreneurial efforts.
Yes. You know, you think of the new attorney in town, Joe Aker, with, you know, Cottonwood Law Group.
Entrepreneurial effort.
Yeah. So, you know, things are happening, and it is an exciting time to be part of it. And you know, not this Saturday, but the following Saturday, I got a text from Annie Hookman. I think it's her. Yes. Annie Hookman. I hope I'm sorry if I'm saying the wrong name. And you know, she is coordinating to get Abilene Ball Club to come and help on Saturday morning from 7 to 9. So it's just it's so wonderful that our communities are just coming together and being willing to work together. You know, part of Abilene Forward too, two new subgroups have formed, and one is an alley committee. So
right.
you think, what's an alley committee? And then you know, entrance into Abilene committee.
Yeah.
So they're kind of working, and we have, you know, benches and trash can committees and blade signs committees, and everybody's just taking a piece of the puzzle and working it
And
together.
you know what I learned on the way over here?
Oh boy, I don't know.
That one should stop for pedestrians when in a crosswalk.
Yes, they
On
should.
3rd Street,
Yeah.
there are two little signs
Yes.
that came out of the Abilene Forward, the Coalition of the Willing, the
Yes.
IDEA team, and money from
Community
Foundation Dickinson County. So why is that significant? So our whole downtown effort is to promote shopping and enjoying our historic buildings,
Yes.
historic homes.
Yes.
That means walkers.
Yes.
And walkers are best prospered by not being run over while crossing the street.
That is true. That is
So
true.
a simple little effort that looks more like something a city department might do. The city might go, "Thus saith the city Lord," here, "Thou shalt not run over pedestrians whilst in crosswalks." Well, it's already in Kansas law. So this little idea group of yours and ours and them said, "Hey, how about we help that law become more noticeable?" And really, you're also depending on the willing in the car.
Yes.
You have to be willing to read and willing to stop.
Yes, yes. And I know ours are a tad confusing. I mean, even though you need to
Oh.
stop, you know, most communities have that sign in the sidewalk, but where we have restaurants and deliveries
Right.
downtown, so a lot of times you'll come down and you'll see the big trucks that are kind of parked.
Uniquely 3rd Street
Yeah.
Abilene solution.
Yes, yes. So it was like if we put them in the middle of the intersection, everybody can read the sign and see what it says. They can maneuver around the sign and.
So would
a
you buy
gracious-
one or two more if I put them up for you?
I know.
You don't.
No,
you
I'm
best
gonna
not
give,
say yes.
I'm going to give credit to, you know, it was Lon and the city
I
of
know it.
Abilene that put him up, and it was Chief Moan and Lon that decided where they need to go. Again, everybody just working, you know, working together to improve our
I think
our
we should
community.
push our odds.
No, let's not.
Yeah, let's
go
do
on
it.
to the next subject.
No, I have to now. So the day after the meeting, when the idea was said, okay, let's do this, and we'll buy the signs, I was driving north on Buckeye from, I turned on 3rd Street and just started to speed up, headed back to the north, and a person was coming from M&M Tire on the intersection, going to walk across. There is no crosswalk there,
there is
right?
not.
But she'd taken a step off, and I was still back here, and I said to myself, it was because it was in my brain,
I better stop.
I stopped.
Good.
And I did like this, and the lady smiled and waved and walked across. So that's KDOT right away. I want to be the one that puts up a sign.
Well, I tell you what,
I'll
there
do it
is
in the
a-
dark of night. I promise.
I know,
I'll
don't
wear a
you?
mask.
It's here.
Look, I even
It's
brought my
here.
own
It's
mask.
here.
I can just pull this up. They won't know who it
You
is.
know, Chancey is doing that over at the county building because of the construction that's going to go on
Right.
there, that the parking lot's going to be unavailable. So he borrowed the sign from the school, I believe, and puts it out there in the morning and then takes it away at the evening time because
Right.
of KDOT. I mean,
Yeah.
we're a little bit unique as we
Yeah.
have the state highway going through the middle of our community. But I
But
hope.
wouldn't it be great if our two signs on 3rd Street caused people to think and maybe go ahead and stop on Buckeye as well?
Yes, yes. It hasn't worked all the way yet. You want to know why? Because I did a test the other day. I was
Okay.
walking across the street to Berg and Gassman, who are our accountants, and like 3 cars went by, and I'm standing right there. Again, no crosswalk, but I am in a designated crossing section, and finally somebody stopped and waved, and
Yeah.
so we need a few, but it's working. People are stopping,
It
and
will,
that's
and it
great.
will. But it's forward progress.
Yes, it is.
So when I think of Abilene Forward, I think of those are words, and it's an idea. It's not an organization. It's an idea. So Abilene Forward versus Abilene Backward, you think of words that come into your mind. It's a choice. Which direction are we going to go? There's a dedicated group of people who get together and go forward. Dwayne and Robin and that alley that they've been working
Yes.
in. You want to go see progress?
And,
There's
and
an alley
Nance,
you need to
yes,
go visit.
And Nance doing the one from Buckeye over to Broadway.
All three were in the same alley last weekend.
Yes, they have worked.
And I get a kick out of this.
Yes.
because I'm a little warped in the humor side. So there I am over there killing weeds. And I told Dwayne this. I said, Dwayne, I said, the face of progress when he walked out of the alley, because when he walked out of the alley,
he was pretty,
sweat was pouring, dirt
and
everywhere.
Robin was covered
right?
with, yes.
We looked like we'd just come out of a Chesnean coal mine, all three of us.
Yes.
And I said, the face of progress. Isn't it though?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is, and you know, it's wonderful that we have citizens of our community that care about our community, and not only, you know, show up at these meetings, but then show up and put in the labor. And you know, I think I was the first one that used an ice scraper to scrape the weeds. So RHV.
Now there's three.
Yes, RHV is. You know, I think they're probably sold out on these scrapers.
Probably are. They're weed killing machines.
They are.
Things.
They are.
Dave gave me the two, so I got to
Okay.
force this in because it's a perfect segue. Downtown Abilene, great things going on.
Yes.
Accent Jewelry
Oh my
has
gosh.
turned a wait till somebody walks in the door
Oh my
business
word.
into worldwide distributing
Oh my gosh.
with a huge postal cart of packages going out in a
Like
day.
daily.
In a day. So through the
Yes.
power of Facebook, that's my
Yes.
very fast segue.
Yes.
Number two, my uniform I'm wearing, because Abilene, the queen of the cowtowns, I've been trying to wear this a
Yes.
lot this year. We had the National Cowboy Poetry Rodeo in town during the Wild Bill Hickok Rodeo, Central Kansas Free Fair. We had people from all over the United States here to compete for national championship, including a guy named Sean Williams, who has a Facebook site, and I have to look, Pearl Snap Fever. The shirt snaps instead of buttons.
Okay, yeah.
He's a day working cowboy. When somebody calls him to go work 5 days, he goes.
Yeah.
He's on Facebook, Pearl Snap Fever, where he does fashion reviews, what goes well with pearl snaps. And it's obviously humorous. He put up a video while he was in Abilene, had 100,000 views before he left.
I hope he took a picture of the Abilene, Kansas sign with him underneath it. In his
That's Jeff
snaps.
and Dawn Dawson, who love Abilene,
Yes.
bringing
Yes.
that contest
Yes.
back home.
Yep.
And Abilene Forward, baby. And they've never heard of the group, but they know the idea.
Yep.
It's Move Forward. Okay, we're out of time. Dave's giving me that look. So, Elizabeth Weiss, thank you
Thank
from
you.
letting us be hosted at the Community Foundation, Dickinson County. Thanks for keeping us on track with your little phone there of names and places and dates. Thanks to everyone who has the idea that communities like Abilene, not just Abilene, but communities like Abilene can move forward
Yes.
and is willing to work together, cooperate, and do the hard work of weed picking that it takes sometimes to get it done.
Yes, well, and not only that, since Dave's already probably upset at the time, thank you, Eagle Communications, for all you do for the communities that you're involved in. You know, sometimes we forget to thank those that have brought
It's
so
about
much.
time, don't you think, Dave?
Sorry, wasn't even prompt. this is
Thank
legit.
you.
You know, again, truly, what Eagle has done, not only for Dickinson County, but for the communities that you serve.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. We're always glad to help where we can. My name's Dennis Weiss. I do work for Eagle Communication. Elizabeth Weiss, Community Foundation of Dickinson County. Dave Hawksworth behind the camera. Wishing you a great day.